Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most viewed, underviewed podcast of all time. Welcome to the Prince of Fresh Air, baby. Dimitri is back. The gang is back, and we're ready to do another one. How you doing, man?
Yo.
So, man, I got to talk about this. This has been blowing up, and a lot of people aren't talking about it. But Jerry Harris, if you don't know who he is, he's a Netflix star that gained a lot of traction for his show Cheers. He was recently indicted by the FBI for possession of child pornography. Now, not only was he in possession of child pornography, he has admitted to associate to having conversations and getting minors to send him sexually explicit videos. And that was about 10 to 15 different minors over the course of a year. And this all came about because two 14-year-old boys came out and spoke about how he kept harassing them. And he's 21, so he's legal. So this all started when he was 20. But yo, man, I have no place in my heart for pedophiles and people who take advantage of kids. What do you think about this whole thing?
It's disgusting. I don't know how somebody can really look at some like little kid that's like freaking 3'8" and then gets turned on by some, disgusting ass shit like that. I will never understand that.
Now, I wasn't gonna do an episode on this because this was kind of something that was just like, you know what, he's gonna get justice, and the victim's gonna get justice. But what's been bothering me was the people supporting this guy. Now, I never watched a show, and I understand you watch a show, you become a fan of somebody. I understand that. But when someone outright commit a crime like this, admits to the guilt, and you say he's only being targeted because he's black, or this is a setup because he's black, yo, this, I just, stuff like that just upsets me because you're deflecting his crime because he's black. That's not what it is. And you know what the sad part is? People like that who's defending him, will be the first one to call 911 if it was their kids or their nephew being harassed by this guy. So I don't know, man. These comments have been just annoying me. Another thing, people saying that he deserves compassion. He was coerced into doing it, and the one that threw me for a left curve was someone said these 14-year-old boys knew better. Are you serious? Yo, are you serious? A 14-year-old should have known better. And this dude is 21. What do you think, man?
He's an idiot, and I think it's just not much to say. It's just disgusting. It's just gross. People like him, they need to get put under the jail. Not in the jail, but somewhere underneath it, like some just dark, disgusting annex, so he can just go there and rot. Because you need to leave little kids alone, bro.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't condone that.
Yeah, and the people defending him should be in jail with him. He's trying to argue because he have asthma, and with COVID going around, he should be released. But I'm like, bro, the FBI already caught you. You already confessed to molesting and being in contact with 10 to 15 different underage minors. And you think the judge is gonna just let you go home and chill? I don't think so. And yo, you know what, man? I'm gonna say this, and like I said, this is a controversial podcast. He's not the only one that should be in trouble. You know who else should be in trouble? The parents. That's right. Now, people are gonna ask me why the parents. I say the parents because they're sending him all these pictures. They're having these conversations. One of the kids, he was having Snapchat conversations with sending pictures and stuff. How, as an underage minor, are your parents not aware of what's going on? And I understand kids are sneaky, but how do you not know what's going on? I just don't understand how these kids are having these full-blown conversations, exchanging news with a grown man, and the parents aren't aware of this.
It's the age of the internet. Everybody's got a tablet. Everybody's got a cell phone. I mean, everybody's got a smartphone, iPhone. You know what I mean? The parents, assumptions isn't going to be, I mean, these days is not, oh, let me check to see what's going on. Because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. So yeah, you can blame the parents for not being aware. I get that.
Because here's the thing, and I'm not trying to dog the parents, but it wasn't the parents that reported it. It was the 14-year-old kids that reported it. So I just think, like, at what point as a parent do you take responsibility? It's like, why is your 13? Because it started when they were 13, and most of the other kids were 12 to 15. As a 12, 13-year-old, how do you not check your kid's phone? I remember when I was growing up, my mom always checked my phone, make sure I wasn't on the late night sites doing whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't having inappropriate conversations. My mom used to check that and all that stuff.
Right.
I understand it's a different age. It's a different era. Not that different. I mean, I'm not that old, but it's like, yo, how these kids getting, like, the fact that this happened over a course of a year, like, he started talking to them when they were 13 until they were 14. The parents had no idea this was happening. I don't know, man. I think some accountability has to be, you know, taken. I'm not saying the parents deserve jail, but parents have to start taking a better look. It's like with the whole R. Kelly thing. Uh, there was a couple that did an interview. The two girls that were currently in relationship with R. Kelly when he got locked up, and they were saying that a lot of these parents, they wanted the kids to get famous, and they heard R. Kelly was in town, and they brought the kids there and left them there. So I'm not saying the crime should be lessened, but at what point do the parents take some responsibility for this? It's like the R. Kelly thing. Like, you telling me all these kids that he had in his apartment, none of the parents knew about? Like, how your daughter disappears for a year, there's no police report, there's nothing, but yet they were kidnapped. I don't know, man. I don't
Because
take
some
nothing at
parents
face
be
value.
selling out their kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think this. There was one of the girl that was allegedly in the video R. Kelly did. Uh, the FBI and the cops thought that was her. She went on a grand jury and said it wasn't her. And what happened when he went back to jail? They went to go subpoena them. But where were they? They were on a cruise for, I believe it was a 2-week cruise. I don't know, man. I don't take nothing at face value. That's something I learned from Lord Jamar, watching his videos with DJ Vlad. I don't know. I can't take everything at face value, because isn't it a little coincidental that the moment he gets locked up, these people disappear for a couple weeks and they're
Yeah.
nowhere in the country. So I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of paying off going on. And I'm not saying in this case with Jerry Harris that the parents knew what was going on, but I don't know, man. When it comes to celebrities, you never know. People obviously some celebrities do take advantage of the fact that they got some money, they got some fame, and they take advantage of that. But I've been in this industry for a while, and I know the lengths and desperation that parents and people would do to get famous. So I'm not taking everything at face value. I'm not saying that the parents were involved, but I think, where were the parents throughout all this, since he was 20 years old doing this? Like, a whole year of him doing this, and not one person but the FBI knew about this.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I my beef isn't with the parents, but people like him, R. Kelly, they all deserve to rot in jail. They all deserve to rot in jail. There's no sympathy, and the fact that people out here screaming that he's a good guy and he was an amazing actor, he doesn't deserve this, and send your thoughts and prayers out to Jerry Harris. You guys are scumbags and deserve to be in jail with him. If you think that he deserves some praise and some prayers, no, he deserved jail time. He deserved to be locked up for 30, 35, 40 years. I don't care how young you are. I don't care that he's black. You did the crime, you do the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing a lot of celebrities speak on this, and that's the part that bothers me, because when George Floyd died, everybody came out the woodwork screaming Black Lives Matter, but a black dude comes out, and let me say this: he wasn't convicted yet, but he has admitted to the fact that he's done this. So even though he's not technically guilty by the court, he's guilty in my eyes. Once you admit that what you were doing, you can't. There's no backwashing that. I mean, even if you don't get convicted, your career is over, pal. You're done. But I don't see nobody speaking out about this. I saw maybe like 3 celebrities speak about it, and they
Yeah.
weren't like big Hollywood movie celebrities. These were like minor, got the verified check celebrities. Like, you telling me nobody knows about what's going on? Everybody's blaming Netflix, but nobody's blaming this kid for what he's doing. So I don't
Yeah,
know, man. And it goes back to cuties because people are still mad about cuties. So they look at Jerry, and the first thing they do is, oh, it's on Netflix fault. Since when was it a company's fault that someone decided to get into child pornography? So I don't know, man. This whole situation it took me by surprise, to say the least.
no, it's a fact. I mean, I'm honestly not surprised. This is a sick world we live in. So, you know,
I love this industry. I do love this industry, but I've heard countless stories, and just watching these news, it doesn't surprise me. And the fact that nobody's speaking out about it bothers me because, like I said, people only care when it's their kids involved. People think it's a laughing joke. People can blame Netflix all they want, but if it was their nephew, their child, in that position, getting molested by, someone with some power. I don't know, man. It'd be a different story. People be calling the cops and 911 be their best friend. But people think it's a laughing joke because it's not their kid uh, getting violated. So I don't know, man.
yeah, man.
I don't know. Like, this whole um, thing just stinks. And I want to talk about R. Kelly for a little bit. Have you watched Surviving R. Kelly?
No,
No,
nah.
I haven't either. I had no.
That's why I feel like you didn't even have to. The word of mouth was crazy, where you didn't even have to watch it to pretty much get the gist of you know what you were probably going to see in the documentary. So, and I heard it was pretty graphic. So I don't. There's certain things that I don't really want to, I don't want to watch. Like I said, the dude peed on a fucking, freaking 14, 12-year-old girl a long ass time ago. So what'd you expect?
Right. Yeah. I didn't watch it. I did read some highlights and some points. And like I said, I want to give a shout out to my man Hassan Campbell, who's a YouTuber who talks about stuff like this. And he said a good point. He said, not one time throughout this whole documentary did they say anything good about him or the people who knew about this ever get criticized. Because in my opinion, if you knew what was going on behind the scenes, you're just as guilty as him. Because
Yeah.
I've seen there was one artist who came out and said that he started growing suspicions about it, but yet nobody ever said anything. It's like with the Harvey Weinstein thing. He's a big Hollywood producer and director, and you telling me all these crimes he did, nobody knew about it? Come on, I don't buy it. I'm sure most people don't buy it, but I think the people who knew about this stuff and just didn't say anything, kept their mouth shut because you know they don't want their career to get tarnished, should just be in jail with him because you're
Yeah.
just as bad as him. You may not have did the crime, but you helped commit the crime, and
Facts.
so I don't know, man. This whole thing just stinks, and I hate the fact that our industry, time and time again, keeps getting busted for all these different heinous crimes. And I just hope there's an overhaul during this time of COVID that a lot of companies start looking at behaviors on set. They start up in security, and they got to do something, man, because if I hear another story next week, 2 weeks from now, of another actor or director touching kids or violating women, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna absolutely lose my mind. I want to say this in the wrong way, but isn't it funny when women come out with stories? People say believe the victim, but yet these kids are coming out telling their story, and nobody believes them. I don't know, man. I
Right.
just think this whole Black Lives Matter thing is going over people's heads because people think because he's a black man, he's getting set up by the FBI and the cops, and I don't know. Yeah, man. I'm done talking about it. But anyway, man. Any final thoughts that you have?
No, my final thoughts are go to my YouTube channel, Mr. DJ MDJ, and check out my gaming content and podcast on there.
You know, every time we gotta go through this, man. You didn't get permission, just plugging in stuff. Can you believe this guy? I don't know who's worse. I don't know who's worse. You or Jerry Harris. No.
Cap.
But anyway, I gotta call back Scarlett Johansson because we got some work to do. But anyway, a helping hand is a better hand. Thank you, Dimitri.
Peace.